You got to take this feeling and fly. Come on, don't deny it. It feels so good to be alive. Take this moment.
Tuck and Patti, welcome to sortiesJAZZnights.com.
Thank you, Coco.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nice having you here in Quebec.
Yes, it's the first time in a while.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure people are anxious to see you on stage. Your last recording was in 2008.
Correct.
When can we expect a new album?
September.
Oh, yes. That's nice.
You'll be hearing songs from it tonight, too.
Okay, that's good. Is it repertoire standards or is
No,
there
it's
any
sort of a mixture.
composition?
Lots of mixtures of different things. Soon you will realize it's later than you think. You could be on the brink. Put your eyes
36 years of playing together.
That's right.
How do you keep your love of playing together so fresh?
It helps that we're doing something that we love. There's no obligation in this, it's just what we both love to do the very most. Mm-hmm. But also, it's not really predictable what's going to happen at any given moment. We made that agreement a long time ago. We don't follow any kind of script or anything. It's just like in a relationship, you make it up as you go along. And so we made a real commitment to do that.
Okay.
And so it's always equally an adventure.
Mm-hmm. So spontaneous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It keeps things, it's the best. It keeps things fresh and...
Like the music, improvisation.
Yes, like life.
Yes.
You never know what's going to come next. You have to... It's later than you think. You could be on the brink. Put your
So you work as a duo. Have you ever considered playing with a larger group?
Well, we do every now and then. We'll play with friends or do a project with someone or take part in other recordings. But the core of what we do is what we love the most, really. It just so happened that when we started to do it, we actually fell in love with it. And so...
Okay, so no...
We love it. We really do. But we play with people and do guest projects and stuff.
So you wouldn't want to have a quartet or a quintet?
No, not all the time. For something special, yes.
Okay.
We're really spoiled.
Yeah?
Yeah, we love this.
I would see you guys do orchestral jazz. With
Yes, we actually have someone who's working on orchestrations for us to do an orchestra evening of our original work. It's going to be fun.
I can imagine it being very
that I'm
lovely.
looking forward to a lot. Your hands up and dance. Don't miss this.
So Patti, you're the composer, the arranger for the duo in general, right?
Yes.
So what inspires you to write your beautiful songs?
Thank you. Well, musically, definitely Tuck. I'm thinking of his style and the way he plays. Mm-hmm. But for my style of writing or the way I tend to write songs is very conversational. So for me, it's definitely a story, but it could be your story, my story. It's really very sort of direct, heart to heart. I really like that kind of communication.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you write according to your life or
what's
events.
happening, what I've read in the, you're affected. We're just affected by our lives.
So emotionally.
You write about your life.
Mm-hmm.
What burns and glows without flame? What lives and grows without any rain? What brings a smile?
So I have a question for you, Tuck. Growing up, who was your model as a guitar player?
Well, there were a lot of them, of course, but none of them would surprise you. It would be people like Wes Montgomery and George Benson and Jimi Hendrix and lots of rock players. And
you wanted to
King.
sound like them?
I wanted to sound like them. I loved the guitar. I didn't know what kind of music I wanted to play. I just loved playing the guitar, so I learned everything that I could. But really, none of it was direct preparation for what we do here. Now I know that it was all just me learning music through playing a kind of normal guitar style, but it was really playing with Patti that made me start to do this strange kind
Yes.
of one person orchestra style. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your own style going, exactly.
Yeah, it was like starting
Yeah.
over again when we got together.
Okay.
And for that, it wasn't really guitar players who influenced me so much. It was more like entire bands. It was Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Jimmy Smith Trio and the Count Basie Band and,
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix. And, what do all these different bands feel like? And it was a lot of piano players, too.
What about picking up the guitar? How old were you when you picked up
I was
the guitar?
14 when I started playing.
Oh,
I
yeah?
played classical
Okay.
piano for about 7 years first. So I had a kind of
Okay.
piano mind already
I was going to
before.
ask, yeah.
Yeah.
You play piano.
Yeah, I can still see that in the way I play the guitar. I have a kind of pianistic approach to the guitar, independence of parts and kind of piano hands, the way I attack notes on the guitar.
Come on and admit it. Whisper to me if you don't really love me anymore. How can you please me, torture then tease me? Tell me that you're doing it to me in the name of love. You're doing it to me in the name of love. You're doing it to me in the name of love. You're doing it to me in the name of love. Hey, you're doing it to me in the name of love. You're doing it to me in the name of love.
Okay, so Patti, I have a question for you. What song do you admire that you would have liked to write?
Oh, I wish I wrote Heaven Down Here. I think that's such a beautiful song. Phil
Yeah?
Roy wrote that and Jim Carrey, and it's just a perfect song to me. I love that song.
Do you do it as a duo?
Yes, we do.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
It's a big requested song too. It's like
It is, yeah?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
What are you waiting for? Believe in me. Isn't it love in this life that you need?
If you had the chance to share the stage with a musician, dead or alive, who would the person be? Let's start with you, Tuck.
Well, we actually did get to share the stage with some of the people that would be on that list.
Ah, that's good.
Miles
play with
Davis.
them.
Yeah, to play with them,
play
yes.
with them. Well, we didn't play with Miles Davis. It would be fun to play with
But
Miles
you would
Davis.
have liked
I'd
Miles
like
Davis.
to play with
Okay.
Miles Davis.
What about you,
I
Patti?
think it would be Duke Ellington band. That would be really
Oh, yeah?
fun. I'd love to sing in front of
yeah.
that band.
Get your voice going out there? Cool.
Yeah, that would be a great experience. And every musician we ever met, they always talk about the people that they talk about. But over the years, when we met musicians, whenever they talk about their time with Ellington, they all get really just sort of dreamy and wistful when they remember that time when they were playing with the Ellington band.
Simply in love, what could be more divine? How can I make you believe?
What about music? What are you guys listening to?
Lately, my favorite record is a record that Billy Childs, a pianist, did last year, Mapping the Keys to the Treasure, finding
Okay.
Laura Nero. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just, to me, it's one of the most beautiful records that's come out in the last 10 years.
Okay.
And it has all these vocalists, and I loved Laura Nero. So to hear somebody really get her completely, but then do these magnificent arrangements, like the first one, New York Tenderberry, is Renee Fleming is singing, and Yo-Yo Ma plays, but then
Okay.
there's the rock, and there's all this stuff involved in it. It's an exquisite record. That's sort of on repeat for
Okay.
me right now.
What about you, Tuck?
Well, I just listened to Art Tatum. I just listened to one Art Tatum record over and over and over. It's kind of like books, except I do remember the music. It's just that every time I get to the end of the Art Tatum record, I think, well, gee, what would I like to listen to now? And it's Art Tatum. I think I'm going to listen to some Art Tatum, so I just go back and play it.
It's a particular CD, though.
Yeah, it's my favorite Art Tatum CD,
Okay.
the 20th Century Piano Genius. And it's 2 CDs, so if somebody's going to get this CD, listen to the first CD. That's the one.
That's the
You can
one.
even skip the first 2 songs where it's just getting started. But it's the best Art Tatum recording ever. And yeah, I've listened to it as much as like 8 months straight without listening to anything else. I really am
Okay, wow.
kind of insane in my focus on Art Tatum.
And then what happens when you play guitar?
Makes no difference.
It does. I'm sorry. I
you
can
see?
hear it. I can hear it. He says it doesn't, but I can hear that it's done. It's doing something.
It must be a very subtle difference because there's no way a guitar player could do anything that Art Tatum did. It was always one of my challenges was listen to 3 seconds of Art Tatum and not give up, but then say, okay, what am I going to do?
Altar of sacrifice, but give your heart to me. Let's bring heaven down here. Let's bring heaven on down. I don't want to wait for the angels. Let's bring heaven down here. Let's bring heaven down here. You and I, we ought to bring it right now. We know that we need it right now down here. And I don't want to wait for the angels. Let's bring heaven down here. Bring it right now. Bring heaven down here.